Hi guys, this is Steph, your relationship coach. I'm super excited to do this video this evening because as you saw, I put the post a few days ago to talk about, and I announced that I was about to talk about venting and releasing frustration. And I wanted to know about, your opinion about venting and releasing frustration. So please, when you listen to this video or when you join, I want you to type and let me know what's your feeling about venting and expressing frustration. Because I feel like nowadays it's actually not very well received. It has like a bad connotation. When you are happy and you have those feelings of happiness and contentment and joy, and you just like take over your entire body. Some people sometimes have to express their joy by like jumping around or yelling, saying like out loud how happy they are. And so if you need to kind of like physically express your positive emotions, it's the same for the negative ones. What do you do if you have all those like negative emotions, like like coming up inside you, even like physically, because they're so strong, and you don't do anything about it, you just repress them? It's actually not very good. And I want to start by mentioning the definition of like what is venting and what is expressing frustration. Well, basically venting is expressing frustration, but it's a way of like releasing an emotion, a strong emotion. It's kind of like also a way of raising something that's like weighting you down. And so if you don't do it, then a lot of people then, if they bottle up the emotions, and a lot of people then have stress, ulcer, depression, because it's kind of like if you contain a fire and you just kind of like try not to like contain the fire in a healthy way, then at some point it will just like explode. And this is why sometimes you see people, maybe you have done it or people did it on you, they just kind of like explode and like are very angry out of nowhere. But this is not out of nowhere. It's probably like an accumulation of a lot of like negative emotion that they were not expressing, either because they feel like they shouldn't or because they feel like they couldn't. Whatever your opinion or whatever your situation is, in some shape or form it needs to go out. But I think, and this is the point of the video, I want to point you to like three tips to help you express your frustration in a more like controlled way and healthy way. So you kind of like see the positive of doing it, and also you do it in a way that is received better and by your partner, and also you make sure you don't hurt your partner. So this is why we're here tonight. So I just want to mention that the benefit of venting is also that it will, most of the time, it helps you to rationalize your emotion, get a different perspective. I always remember when I was doing mathematics homework, sometimes I was spending a bit of time doing the mathematics problem and I couldn't solve it by myself. And my dad was my go-to to help me with mathematics. And I would come to him and he was like, okay, what's the problem? And I had to explain him what was the problem and why I had a hard time, what did I do to try to figure it out, and why I couldn't figure it out by myself. And just the fact that I had to kind of like think about, what am I going to tell him? What's the problem? Why can't I figure it out myself? And then saying it out loud. And very often just the mental exercise and the fact that to hear myself initiating the problem out loud, then the minute I was doing this, I was finding the solution. So like, I cannot tell you how many times I went to my dad telling him I couldn't solve the problem. And the minute I was actually saying out loud, I had the solution. And so you see, it can definitely help you rationalize, get a new perspective, and kind of like even help you figure it out. Why am I angry? Why am I having these negative emotions? And kind of like try to dig a bit deeper about what's going on. So the first tip I'm going to share with you is to set a time, and I even want to say a location. So set a time with your partner to express what's going on is very important, because when you have someone receiving an information, especially when it's a negative one, it's a gift they are doing to us, because venting allows us to start healing. When you feel heard and understood, it's a first step to like heal something like a wound or like a negative emotion. And so if someone is taking the time to listen to you and do it properly, then it's a gift. But we're all humans, so maybe if you come to talk to someone, especially with something a bit difficult or sensitive, then you want to make sure the person is in the right state of mind. Like if you come and talk to me and just start like dumping whatever's going on, and I'm not ready because maybe I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about work and I'm stressed about my work, or I just had an argument with my mom and I still think about that, or I'm in the middle of cooking and I just want to be done cooking because also I'm starving. And when I'm starving, guys, I'm not fun to be around, and I'm definitely not in the position to be a receiver, to like listen to what you have to tell me, because I'm not in the right place of mind. All I think about is food. And so whatever's going on, you need to make sure that the person, especially if you're going to talk about something sensitive and important for you, then you need to make sure that the receiver is in the right state of mind and is available to receive your message in the best way. It's important for you and it's important for them, because also it means you value their time and you value whatever is going on for them. So you need to come to your partner and say, hey, I have a few things on my mind I want to talk to you about. Is this a good time? And if it's not a good time, then ask them, okay, when can we talk then? Of course, you want this to be as soon as possible. You don't want to come to your partner at 7 p.m. and then they tell you, okay, I'm only going to be able to receive your information in 1 week. Or even the next day is already a bit late. So ideally, but I don't know, if I'm cooking, I can tell you, hey, let me just like finish cooking, maybe eat a quick bite, and then I'm going to be all ears. So you definitely need to come and ask for permission to share. If it's not the right time, ask, okay, what's the next best time within ideally the next, few minutes, or if not possible, the next few hours. And so I mentioned the first tip to express your frustration or vent in a healthier way, and so it's received. It's better received, and also you don't hurt your partner, is to set a time for the discussion. And I kind of like also want to add a location, because again, like when you're at home, sometimes it's not the best way to talk. I mean, I know you have to do with what you have to do, but like maybe the kids are around, so you're like, okay, maybe when you put the kids to bed and the only private and quiet space is in the bedroom, so then do it in the bedroom. Some people, like myself, actually, like with my partner, we love to talk outside of the house. We love to go on a walk, and just the fact that we're in motion, we're in action, it helps with our brain thinking. So to be out of the house, sometimes we just like go around the house. We don't go very far. We just like walk around the house for like a couple of minutes and then we talk. So what do you think would work best for you? Is it maybe while you guys have dinner? Is it maybe after the kids are in bed, but not in the bedroom, maybe in the living room? Or the bedroom is the most quiet place to talk to? Or you also would love to go outside and go on a walk. Whatever it is, please share, And I'm very curious to hear about what works for you, because it can give idea to like other people. So like my go-to is definitely go on a walk outside of the house, even if it's for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or just like walking around the house. But I'm, whatever works best for you, please share, because again, it's going to inspire other people, give ideas to other people, and try it out. You can do it one night this way, another time the other way, and just kind of like have a feeling to what works best for you. And also ask your partner, hey, like, yesterday we had a discussion in the bedroom, but did you actually like it, or did you feel like me that you didn't really like it? Maybe it would be best to do it outside. What do you think? Let's try it next time we have a heavy discussion. So also like really open the discussion with your partner, but also try to have a feel about it, try different things, and when you find your best way, your best location, and even sometimes the best time, sometimes you have maybe more time in the morning and you have a fresh mind. So whatever it is, try a few different things and see what works best for your couple. Because again, every time I'm sharing tips and tricks, or every time another woman is sharing, it is just to inspire you. And then I really encourage you to kind of like try it out, try different things, and make it your own, because we each have different relationships. So you need to make something that works for you and your partner. So first tips was to set a time, and if possible, a location. The second tip is kind of like have the right mindset. What do I mean about that? I actually mean different things. The first thing is no abuse and always be respectful. And those two things are actually, you can use this you can assume I'm going to advise this to you in kind of like all my tips. So no abuse, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. No like physical or mental abuse. No, and coming from a place of respect for like so many reasons, guys. The first reason is like when you talk to someone, again, when they receive your information, it's a gift they're doing to you. It's a gift because they're going to make you feel heard and understood. They're also taking time out of their life to listen to you. So it's also a gift for that. It's a gift because, yeah, you're going to heal by being able to talk to someone. And also, like, if I'm making time to listen to you, I don't want to feel disrespected. And also, if you talk to your partner, I'm assuming you love them, or it's the father or the mother of your kids. It's someone that you picked and that you really loved very dearly at some point in your life, and hopefully still now. If you want to work on your relationships, it's because if you want to improve it, it's because you love this person. So you never should hurt them, and definitely not intentionally. So always tries to come from a place of respect. It's very important. And every time you talk to anyone, not just your partner, you should always respect people as a human being in front of you. And I'm mentioning this because, especially in those like difficult conversations, it can be very easy. Again, yes, it's a human in front of you. So you know, with a clear mind, you know they deserve respect, but sometimes it's hard to do it because we're so heated and there's so much emotion. Then you start calling names, or like, I'm going to talk about this a little bit with the third tip, but really try to pay attention to the vocabulary that you use. It should be something respectful and coming from a place of love. The idea is like you want to come with a resolution, something that works for you, for your partner, so you should do it with respect. So pick your words wisely. No physical and mental abuse. No destroying. No throwing plates. Breaking things, or also physical violence. Don't even like push your partner or whatever. This is a big no. This is just a no. No destroying. And the last two things I want to mention, the first is like, you need to be able, the person you're going to talk to, so I'm always assuming you're going to talk to your partner, but you need to be able, the person you're going to talk to, you need to be able to trust that person. what I mean by that is that you need to be able that person will treat whatever information you're going to share with love and respect as well. And then you're not going to use this information against you later. And sometimes maybe, you know, you had a difficult time to communicate with your partner. And so it might be something a bit hard to do, to be, okay, I'm going to trust this person. But you need to start somewhere. And if you really want to improve the communication, then you need to kind of like make the effort to start trusting this person again. This is your partner we're talking to. So it should be someone that you trust. But if sometime there were a bit, hard times and you trust him or her a tiny bit less, then I would strongly suggest you to start sharing things that are a bit on the smaller side. So maybe if you have, I don't know, like an entire list of frustration and things you want to vent about, then how about you start with the smaller things, because it's going to be easier and less emotional. And also, like, the tips I'm sharing with you, it's something that you're going to have to practice, practice coming and say, hey, can we talk? Hey, what's the best time to talk? If it's not now, when? It also takes, a bit of effort to do that. But with practice, it's going to come to you more naturally. So even, like sometimes maybe you're very someone who just kind of like go from 1 to 10 very easily. And so sometimes not, picking on your partner and being disrespectful is hard, and I don't want to judge you for that. I'm just saying that you need to tend to those things. And so maybe this is why I start with like smaller things, smaller issues, and then when you're more comfortable with all the tips and things I'm telling you, then you can go on with the bigger ones. And the last thing I'm going to share about like coming from the right mindset is maybe practicing before actually going to your partner. So different way of practicing. You can like maybe journal. I think journal is the best way. Write down, kind of like I was talking about, like brain dump, but maybe frustration dump, venting dump. Just write whatever is coming up. Don't try to think about it too much about the best way to put it. Just have a blank page and just write, okay, this is why he or she is annoying me. This is what's going on. This is what I'm frustrating about. And just like write it down as it comes. And then look at it and say, okay, why am I frustrated? What's going on? Is it a bit deeper than what it seems like? Maybe what's the best way to phrase it? And again, that's going to be my third tip. So we're going to talk about it. But it can help you the same way with the, when I was coming to my dad and I had to enunciate the problem out loud. It can be your way of like doing the same thing. And the minute you're going to put things on the paper, it's going to help you rationalize whatever is coming on. You're going to be less emotional about it. You're going to have time to think about it. And maybe you're going to have even a new perspective by seeing it on the paper. So I really encourage you to do that. Of course, another way is like to talk to a very close friend. And again, be careful who you are sharing with. It needs to be someone that you very trust. I encourage you to even like come in the group and say, hey guys, this is whatever's going on. I don't know the best way to do it. I'm having a hard time phrasing it the right way. So boom, maybe come and share with the group and we can help you phrase it the best way. And it kind of like transition to the third tip, which is the I statements. Sorry. So the I statements, I for I, not for eyes, for like myself, coming from yourself. So basically, and it's also linked to the second point I was mentioning, which is coming with the right mindset. You don't want to come and say, okay, you're such a jerk. You always leave your breakfast bowl in the sink in the morning when the dishwasher is right there. All you have to do is like put in the freaking dishwasher and you don't do it. And I'm not your maid. I'm not the one cleaning after you. It is not my role. I'm your wife. not your servant, whatever. You annoy me, you're the worst husband ever, or the worst wife, and I hate you, and I don't want to hear from you again, or I don't want to see your face for the rest of the night. That's not very nice. Imagine someone was coming to you and talking to you that way. How would you react? Even if they told you, hey, can we have a discussion? And then this is what they tell you. You know, that's not very nice. It's not very productive. And the way of the goal behind the tips I'm sharing tonight is that your message is well received, so you can feel heard and understood, and also that you don't hurt your partner. And by just like talking like that, the way I've just did, not only the person stop listening to you because you are very aggressive, I don't want to listen to you anymore. And if I don't want to listen to you, I don't want to listen to your perspective and try to understand where you're coming from, because you just attacked me. How am I going to be able to listen to you now? No way. So imagine it's reversed, and you do this. Of course, the person is not going to listen to you or like react appropriately, and then it's just gonna escalate, or maybe either that you're gonna start yelling, or it's gonna be, okay, I don't want to hear about it anymore, and the receiver, the person you're talking to, is just gonna walk away because the person maybe feel attacked or whatever. So definitely not productive. It's gonna go nowhere, and maybe it's gonna make you feel good for 1 second, but then that's it. But then you damage your relationship, and you didn't get any resolution, or you didn't feel heard. Definitely the person's going to stop listening to you and not going to look for trying to understand your perspective and point of view. So instead, my recipe, and you probably heard also this is a common thing about effective communication, and there's like so many other input I could give you, but I want to limit the tips and tricks to 3 tonight. So the last one is the I statement. So instead of doing what I've just did, just criticizing, you want to take your frustration and transform it into a desire. Frustration transform into a desire. So instead of saying, you never do this, you never do that, you're a jerk, and then what? Then instead of that, you need to start your sentences with I, coming from your perspective, and stating a behavior, a feeling, and then a reaction or lack of reaction. So if we go back to, like, I don't know, your partner that is just like in the morning, never do the effort to put the cereal bowl into the dishwasher and leaving it in the sink, then you can say, I don't like when in the morning you leave your bowl, your dirty bowl or your dirty dishes in the sink. It makes me feel that it's my role to kind of like do it for you and clean after you. And so it makes me react. It makes me then being mad at you. Like, it makes me feel maybe like not that I'm not valued, and it makes me feel that this is my role to clean the house, and I resent you for that. Or then I'm like mad at you the entire day, and when you come home or when you come in during the day, I'm snappy at you. So this is why I'm very snappy. I'm in a bad mood every time you come home at night. It's because of that. And maybe then ask with like an open question, saying like, what do you think? And then maybe your partner, and I really want then you to kind of like let it think into your partner's brain. So he or she's gonna think about what you just said, that if you're snappy every evening, it's because of that he doesn't put the dirty dishes into the dishwasher, and that it makes you feel that this is your role and job and duty. when you already do so many things in the house, and it's a 5-minute things for him or for her. And this is why you snappy every evening when he comes home. So then the partner, the receiver, is going to think about that, and then you can help them a bit and say, what do you think? And then I don't know where the discussion is going to go. And this is why you need to be flexible and also creative in the way that they can tell you, oh, I didn't realize, like when I get ready in the morning, I just, I want, I like to sleep. And so I want to sleep. I don't like to wake up an hour earlier. I just like to sleep in and snooze and sleep as much as I can. So I end up waking up or getting up just 30 minutes before leaving. Therefore, I'm just rushing to get out of the door, and I don't think about it. And actually, now that you mention it, I do notice that when I come home, the dirty dish is not in the sink and it's in the dishwasher. And actually, I'm very grateful for that. And maybe all you needed to hear is thank you. But because you mentioned this, you didn't bottle it up, you mention it. So you also give your partner the opportunity to know what the problem is, because maybe she or he wasn't aware that you had a problem with it. All they were saying is like, you snap, like my wife or my husband is snappy whenever I come home, and I'm not looking forward to come home. But now that I know this information, oh my God, I understand. And maybe the fact that the partner is going to tell you thank you is going to be enough. Because it's kind of like acknowledging, okay, I do notice that you do this as a favor, or that you do all those things around the house, and thank you so much for that. Or maybe you want a bit more. Maybe you want to say, well, I would really appreciate if you just take 2 more minutes, and if you put in the dishwasher, it would save me a lot of time, because I also don't have a lot of time during the day. I also have to leave, 5 minutes after you. But it drives me crazy to see the thing in the dish in the sink. So I just physically cannot let them in the sink. So it just 2 more minutes for you, and for me it's a big thing. It's a big deal. So then maybe you tell, okay, this is what I need from you, and then your partner will make the effort to put the dirty dishes in the dishwasher. Or you come up with another plan. I had a client. She was telling me that her boyfriend really didn't like cleaning or cooking, but she told me that she did acknowledge that he was doing a lot of other things around the house for the couple and the family, but he was never saying thank you. And because they had a discussion, she was able to kind of mention her frustration, and I think all she wanted to do was hearing thank you. And so she was saying, I don't mind if you don't like to do this, if you really don't like to cook and clean, me, I have no problem doing it. But then I don't have energy for myself or for a couple, or so in exchange, we're gonna decide that I'm the one cooking, I'm the one cleaning, you don't do it. But then we both agree. It's not just like it was not like I feel that you don't do anything around the house. We both agree that I do that, and in exchange, so what they came up with is they have a kid, and he would take care of the kid every Saturday morning, so she has time for herself. So it was his way of telling her thank you, of acknowledging that during the week she was the one doing all the time the cooking and the cleaning, and in exchange then he will take care of the kids every Saturday morning as a thank you. And you can be creative, finding whatever solution suits you, but to find a solution you need to be able to talk about the problem. If you never give your partner the opportunity to make a behavior change, or telling you thank you, or creating a new rule, so you feel that the relationship is balanced, then it's not fair. It's not fair for your partner, really. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. I'm going to summarize. Yeah, so first, I was just looking at my notes. So first, set a time and a location. Be in the right mindset. The big word is respect and safety. And the third thing is the I statement. So transform your frustration into a desire. So I don't like when you do this and that, or when you think this way or whatever, or you say this and that. It makes me feel this way, and therefore this is how I react or how I do not react. And you can add, and I would love if you could instead do this or that. And this is the desire. And be open to a discussion, open to what your partner is coming up with, and be flexible and open to find a resolution. And sometimes I said there's no resolution. You can agree to disagree, but it's an entire other topic. So I want you guys to practice this week. And I want you to share so you can inspire other women. I want you either to let me and let us know what's your opinion about venting and expressing frustration. What have you been doing up until now? What was not working? What was working? When is the best occasion or the best way for you to vent? Do you have difficulty with the mindset part? And what's your experience practicing the I statements? And if you have difficulty with that, please come and share in the group, and I will make sure I'm definitely at least once a week in the Facebook group. And so I will definitely make sure to answer your comments if you want to do venting dump, and help me to come up with I statements so you kind of prepare. I will definitely be there and do that. And I'm sure the ladies will be more than happy to help you, because the more you practice the I statement, the more it's going to be natural. And I want you to share if you start seeing improvements already in your communication by using those 3 tips. So guys, the last thing, and especially because it's Thanksgiving today for the American folks, the last thing is when you're done talking, a good way to indicate that the discussion is over, because sometimes also people are okay, is the discussion over? I don't know, do you have anything else to add? A good way to make it clear that the discussion is over, and the perfect way to end the discussion is to be thankful, to say thank you. I feel better because I was able to share with you. I felt that you listened, and thank you for that. Just thank you for listening. So I think that's also a big one, to end your discussion with your partner by saying thank you for listening. And especially if you had set a specific time, thank you for making time, and thank you for listening. And so I'm going to end by saying the same to you guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. And now I hope you're going to share and practice. And I wish you a good night. And I give you, as always, a big virtual hug. Bye-bye.